Hello, good evening. How are you doing? If you're new, please like and subscribe. Today, we're just going to touch on some transfer news and some activity that's been going on in City World recently. Spoke about the match on a review video yesterday. I had Stuart on, who sits in front of me at South Stand, goes home and away. So if you want to go and check that out, please do. It's in the video section. But I'll just touch on the game on Sunday. I think it's a very good result. Needless to say, having sat on it for a day or so, obviously a very good result, but not something that we want to see repeated. Really, is it with Mark Gay in midfield? So, and Rico Lewis at right back as well was hardly ideal. So yeah, we'll move on to the transfers today. Savinho has confirmed he's finally gone to Tottenham for a lot of money. I don't know what it is that people see. People within the game seem to rate Savinho. Tottenham bid for him last season. City rejected it. Gave him a new contract on the strength of that. And then 12 months later, along come Tottenham again with another bid, which I think is wild. I think it's a very, very high bid for a player who has done very, very little. Certainly in those 12 months between the initial bid and now. Where's that increase come from? I know he's had a new contract, but that's not really a Tottenham thing, is it? So I'm not really sure why they'd be too interested at that fee, unless of course you buy into the conspiracy theory about, well, it's a high bid for Savinho so they can get Marmush on the cheap. Now, I listened to Alex Crook on TalkSport before talking about this conspiracy theory, and they asked him about it. Is this true? He turns around and says, "Oh, well, it's been mooted, it's been talked about." Well, the Loch Ness Monster has been spoken about. Fake moon landings have been spoken about. UFOs have been talked about. It's all a load of shite. The idea that Tottenham have done City a favour is for the birds, in my view. I know they're getting Marmush for a loan for the year, but I'm sure that's favourable to City's accounting situation as well. I can't see them doing favours like that for each other. But Savinho, for him to go at that level, I think is great money for City. And what would make me regret him leaving at that level, or leaving at all? What would get me thinking I'd regret it is if he turned into Gareth Bale. If he turned into Gareth Bale, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. I didn't see this coming. Fair play, Savinho. You've played a blinder. And by the way, if he does turn into Gareth Bale, it won't be at Spurs for very long. It'll soon be off. So yeah, if he turns into Gareth Bale, then yeah, fair enough. I'll hold my hands up. But I thought Leroy Sané had all the skills and characteristics in the world to turn into Gareth Bale, and he didn't do that. And he was 5 times the player Savinho is, and Leroy Sané is now at Galatasaray. So yeah, I've got nothing else to say on Savinho until we play Tottenham next. But I'm sure I'll have a blinder, but for the rest of the season, do fuck all. Also, after Spurs, Marmush, that looks like it's done and dusted. He did train on Monday, apparently, but I think that's just dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Will Marmush be missed? I think so in a certain way, in terms of an option, although he hasn't really had a fair crack at it. But when he has had a fair crack, he hasn't really staked a claim good enough, has it, outside those first few months? So probably right to move him on now. But who are we going to get? My shout was Jackson from Chelsea. It looks like he's on his way to Aston Villa, so it won't be him, I don't think. So I don't know who we're going to get, but I think we need someone. I don't think the idea of running with Semenyo as a backup to Haaland is good enough, because we haven't got enough wingers for a start. So I think we do need to bring someone in to replace Marmush. I don't know who that would be, but Marmush, decent enough. I think he'll play well for Tottenham. I think he's better than Richarlison, isn't he? And Solanke hasn't really done an awful lot. Oh, and if you're wondering, this shirt is obviously not a City shirt. It's Ahmed Spor from Turkey. They're a Kurdish team playing in the Turkish league. They're it's their first season in the Super League this year. Fan run, fan owned. So yeah, very interesting team to keep an eye on. I've got a friend who's a fan. Hence the shirt. Another one who was spoken about leaving is Ait-Nouri. Now, I've been saying for weeks, if you've been following my channel, I've been following my Blue Sky account, I've been talking about Ait-Nouri going for weeks. Not in the know, I'm not in the know, nothing like that. It's just counting. It's just maths. He is a left back, an international left back, right? He doesn't like the idea of sitting on the bench all season, right? Okay, fair enough. He sat on the bench most of last season. When he come on, he wasn't that impressive. And when he got taken off at Burnley, he spat his dummy out. So how is he going to take another season behind Guardiola and O'Reilly at left back? Because I think Guardiola will probably have to play at left back because we need to get Mark Gay in. So it'll be Gay, Diaz, Guardiola left back, say. And then, because we're not going to see Gay in midfield, are we? Come on. Or Ryan at left back and Guardiola at centre back. So I don't see many opportunities for Ait-Nouri. And he's a £50 million left back. He's been here a year. If you're going to get rid of him, you've got to get rid of him now, because another year sat on the bench, his value will drop. Although he was linked with Juventus. Now, are Juventus good payers in the transfer market? I think since he got the fingers burnt with Ronaldo, they're not going to land in their pocket since, have they? And obviously they have a few players, but I need to see what they come with, whether it's a loan, an option, or whether it's straight cash, or what City would accept. I expect City would accept anything within reason, given their our keenness to sell players at the moment. So if anything within reason, I reckon it could be Juventus's. Although it is a quick turnaround, isn't it, between now and next Tuesday. Another one who's off is Nico Gonzalez, which again probably falls into the camp of, opposite to Savinho, sorry. So management doesn't rate Nico Gonzalez. Fans seem to think he's okay, or at least worth another crack of the whip. Fans don't rate Savinho at all, yet football executives want and will bid 70, 80 million pounds of him. So I'm not sure where that fits. But if we assume, and this might be a generous thing to assume, or naive thing to assume, that Maresca only started work with City when he was legally allowed to. He's made a lot of decisions on a lot of players very quickly, hasn't he? He took one look at Gonzalez and gone, no. Despite, him having a good run of form during last season at critical points. And I know Gonzalez isn't perfect. I know he's not perfect, but I think he was worth another 6 months, another season to see how we get on, because he's not. I don't think he's let us down anything really. Quite the opposite. He come on against Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final, didn't he? And got the winner. So I'm not sure what our eagerness was to get rid of him, unless, like I said, falls in the Marmush basket or the Ait-Nouri basket. Or if you keep him another year in this sub role, then it's gone. Any value's gone, and everyone's scratching around. Last out is Grealish. Talk about scratching around. I think he said on Instagram, someone posted that City are open to all options for him, whether permanent transfer or loan. I fucking bet they are. I bet City are, because we just need him out, don't we? We just need him out. Or City need him out. Or need him to play. Just pick one. Just pick. If you want to keep him around, keep him around. If you want to get rid of him, get rid of him. But we can't have him sat on the bench for 6 months, because there'll just be constant questions, and then he'll have his eye on the way out in January anyway. So I think City need to pick a path with him and stick with it. Buadi looks like he's done and dusted. He's almost here. Almost, been saying almost for about 2 months, but yeah, I think he's seemingly what we need. We've been after him for long enough, so I should hope so. I keep reading and hearing things about, he's not going to replace Rodri. He's not Rodri. He's not the same player. Well, of course not. Rodri's got a trophy list as long as your arm. This guy's 18, coming from France, right? In addition to that, I remember when Rodri came in, and shortly after that, he's not Fernandinho. He's not like Fernandinho. He's not like Fernandinho. Well, that turned out all right, didn't it? City replaced Yaya Toure with Kevin De Bruyne. Not the same player. Not a problem. We replaced Sergio Aguero. Sergio Aguero with no one, and then replace the midfielders who were up front with Haaland. So everyone can change. We replaced Ederson with Donnarumma. So this idea of everyone's got to be a like for like sub replacement is not for me. I don't think that's what City are looking for. A midfield of Anderson, Buadi, and of course now Enzo Fernandez. I mean, they're all that's £300 million on midfielders on average, right? You have got to be talking about winning the league for that amount of money. You've got to be. We finished second last year and won 2 trophies. You've got to be talking about winning the league. And the lack of goals from the wing is a problem, isn't it? It's a problem. Allan is in. It looks like Allan, he's coming in as well. Again, if he turns out to be good, great. But then how much money can you spend? You can't have £100 million players all over the pitch, can you? Although Liverpool are giving a good fist of it, and we'll see what's happening there. But no, I think we need another winger. But then we got Cherky and Foden, he might dip in and out. So we'll have to see how that all pans out. But let's talk about Enzo Fernandez. Right. Chelsea gave a deadline for Enzo Fernandez. What was it? About 10 days ago, week last Friday. For if you want him, these are the terms: 120 million. This is it. He's yours. Now, that player is obviously for sale, isn't it? He's obviously for sale. He was on the bench yesterday. Come on, I wasn't paying much attention to the second half, so I can't really comment on it. But I'm glad City didn't dance to their tune and go, yeah, right, there you go. We'll have him on your terms. So I'm glad we didn't do that. But when you think about it, well, they're not going to sell him for less, are they? Now, because they look like tits. We give you a deadline. It'll be over 2 weeks ago by the time the transfer window finishes. They give us a deadline over 2 weeks ago of 120 million. City ignored it and we sold him for 90. Right, so that's obviously not the case. We're obviously going to be spending 120 million minimum on Enzo Fernandez. Now that is a fortune to start with, and that might be the starting point of negotiation. And is he worth it? I mean, what's on his CV? I know you can say it's about Anderson, you can say it's about Buadi, but we're not talking about him. We're talking about Enzo Fernandez. World Cup winner, great. Tick. World Cup finalist, great, but he got sent off. Not so great. Conference League winner, not interested. World Club Cup winner, yeah, all right then. If you bundle those two in, we'll call it you won one trophy with Chelsea. Does he impress you? Really? Does he strike you as the man? I don't know, but if we're going to play like we did again on Sunday, will be Anderson deep and Enzo run forward and get forward? Maybe. That could be interesting. Or do you play all three? Because I can't see them playing all three at the same time, all the time. Enzo, Elliot Anderson, and Buadi, all three at the same time. You can't have three midfielders for three positions, can you? You need extra. And who are extra? Who are our backups? Maybe Lewis, maybe O'Reilly. So maybe we need another midfielder as well. Well, I wouldn't rule that out because I don't think Kovacic is up to it. I think he did okay on Sunday when he came on, but I'm not seeing any links to any other midfield players. So it's interesting to see where we end up and what Chelsea fans think of the sale. Are they asked to see him go? They didn't look fucking too harsh yesterday. They looked pretty good, didn't they, without him in the first half anyway. So I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to? They're going to take the money and go by Wharton, by Alex Scott. Looks like they bid for Scott this week, but it was laughed out of town apparently, 65 mil. Laughed out of town. And again, so are you going to get him out of Bournemouth with a week to go? I don't know. It's going to be busy, but I'm away over the weekend, so I'll miss most of it. And yeah, one other player we were linked with this week was Cody Gakpo. I spoke about goal-scoring wingers and the replacement for Haaland. I'm not against signing him. I thought he'd be on quite a low contract because of the league he got him from, but I was informed yesterday that he did renew since signing. So it'd have an uplift in wages. Would it be crazy money? I don't know. In what pay rise coming to City? particularly because his role will be a little bit lower, won't it? So yeah, if you're new, please like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. I always forget to mention that. So Gakpo can play left. Can he play on the right? Probably. He can play up front a bit, I believe. I can't remember. I don't watch Liverpool that much, but I was talking to sort of Liverpool on Blue Sky yesterday, and he said that they'll sell anyone at the moment. The way they're a bit like us, apparently, that they'll sell anyone. They need to sell to fund Barcola, apparently. And he said 70 to 80 million, which I think is too much. I think it's too much. Let me just double check what he did say. Let me find out what this. Sell for the right price. Here we go. Yeah, 70 to 80 million, I'd have thought. Now, I don't know if that's euros. I don't know if the guy's strong. I don't know if that's pounds. I don't know. 70 million euros. Yeah, I could live with that. 50 million quid. That seems about right for Gakpo. 27, not a world beater. Premier League proven good enough. 70 million pounds seems tough. But then we can't go around, can we? We can't go around demanding lower fees for people when we judge Savinho to be a 75 million pound footballer. So I think where we put our valuations now, forget it. You know, if you think someone's worth 60, you might as well say 80. I wouldn't get too bogged down on valuations. I tried to, value players but I'm miles off these days. I didn't think it would go higher than 85 for Elliot Anderson. I think 120 million pound for Enzo Fernandez is end of conversation. I don't think it's a negotiation position at all. I think it's, the guy's not for sale. Gusto was quoted 70 million. That's not negotiation. He's not for sale. So I don't know where we go from here, but I'd take Gakpo, I think, if the money's right, if he's happy with a role. Because, we haven't really got anyone else, have we? Savinho, yeah. Jackson looks like he's got a Villa, so he can't be back up to Haaland. Who is the backup to Haaland as of Friday evening? Who will be back up to him? If Haaland twists his ankle, he's out for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. What do we do? 2 or 3 weeks is League, Champions League, Champions League, Champions League, 6 matches. What do we do? Stick Semenyo up there? I don't believe you can just, Foden will do false nine, do that. These things are highly technical and need a lot of coaching. And the game has moved on over the last 3 or 4 years when we employed it to success in winning the league. The game's more physical. Can you have a little false nine dipping into the field, doing bits and pieces? I don't know, but I think we need someone to replace Haaland, and Gakpo can go on either wing. I think sort of play behind him as well, maybe, hopefully. So I think that's probably about right. And if he's available, if they're ready to sell, we'll go for him. But then would Liverpool sell to us? Would Liverpool sell to us? Maybe, maybe not. If they need the dough for this Barcola, then I imagine they'll sell to anyone. So, I mean, is Gakpo going to move the needle, though? We know that the net is done it, sort of. Good enough. But against that makes you ask, is the money right? Can we get the money right for him? But again, what is the money? What is the money for these players these days? If we're selling Savio for 85 million quid, what is the right money? I don't know. But if we can finish this time next week, if we can have Buadi in, Enzo Fernandez in, Allan in, Gakpo in, is that enough? Is that enough? Is it? I think we're short. I think we're short a midfielder. And there's no guarantee we're going to get Enzo Fernandez either. Is there? I keep reading they're not going to sell unless they get a replacement. Well, presumably they're not going to buy one until they know this guy's already out the door. So it's going to be interesting to see over the next few days what we do. So do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I do these live videos. Last week I did 3 lives in 3 days. So I'll try and do one each day for the next couple of days just to have a chat and see if things move along. But there's only so many times you can say the same things, isn't there? Buadi's close. Enzo bid coming. There's only so many times you can say the same thing. So I think we'll wrap it up in a minute. But yeah, shame to see Nico Gonzalez go, because I thought he would have been a good good squad player. Great to see Savinho go for that money, although if it set the benchmark, what we're expected to pay for backups to Haaland and other wingers, then it could be sort of dangerous precedent from a City perspective. Ait-Nouri to Juventus, like I said, I've been saying for weeks, this guy could be gone. I think he'll be gone. I think he'll want to go. I've said it for weeks, and that is probably a goer. I just don't think he'll get the game time he wants. He'll want to play, and there just isn't a position for him, in my view. But we'll see about that if Juventus want him. Buadi is close, and Marmush is almost out the door. So I think these things I'll just tick over, won't they, and see how they go. I can't. But we'll spend a fortune. We've got a fortune in, so it'll be interesting to see where our sort of net spend lands, and if that does give us some flexibility in January. Talk about January in fucking August. Jesus Christ. Talk about January. If Maresca, having been here 4 or 5 months, has identified serious gaps in the squad that he wants to fill, and if certain people want to leave. So thanks for joining. Do like and subscribe, and I will see you maybe tomorrow to talk about transfers and anything else that takes our fancy. Thank you very much. Take care.